What I want to teach is just a dose of testifying. The words may so much sound common, but I want you to listen with a proper listening ear that you should receive whatever I'll be advising you. Okay? I hope you allow the inner man to respond to this. So I want to speak about grace. Then I want to speak also about hope quickly, and then I want to speak about faith. Okay? Grace, hope, and faith. My main focus being on hope today. Then I'll come back to the other two parts. If you read your statements of your teachings of your pastors from where you grew, you will realize that they speak much about faith. They speak much about faith and they speak much about grace, but not many who speak much about hope. But according to my study right now, people are being affected on this part more than anywhere else. Why? Because grace is very much 100% spiritual. There is no way that the devil can attack 100% spiritual. There's no way that the devil can attack grace, because grace is provided without your effort. It is in the spiritual realm. It is in the heavenly places. It is the provision of God, that there is no way that the devil can touch it, because it's 100% spiritual. But hope now, there is a human act here. There is a human act here. So when there is a human act, interference is very, very possible, because there is a human act. Now, faith is an action. Faith is an action. Faith is an action responding. Faith is an action responding to what? To grace. So when you're acting with faith, it's an action responding to grace. But faith is a product. Faith is a product of hope. This is very important. Write down this. Faith is a product of hope. Faith is a product of hope. Very, very important. Write this statement down. Faith is a product of hope. In other words, if there is no hope, it means there is no action. Because we have agreed that faith is an act. Faith is an act. So if there is no hope, there is no act. So now what the devil does is aware that your grace is safe. And he knows that the moment you jump into faith, as the Bible says, it is only faith that pleases God. When there is faith, you please God. So the devil is aware that when one has started to act, because the moment you started to act positively in response to grace, you have already defeated the devil. So what the devil does is he comes and kills the hope. He comes and kills the hope. Let me start to read from Hebrews 11. It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for. The evidence of things not seen. The evidence of things not seen. Just by reading this verse, it indicates to you that faith and hope move together. Do move together. They move together. From hope, you jump to faith. In other words, according to Proverbs, I can say from desire, you jump to an act. From a desire, you jump to an act. I want you to digest what I'm saying. From desire, you jump into an act. Let us read Proverbs 13. Verse 12. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but when the desire comes, it is a tree of life. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but when the desire comes. So in other words, we can all agree without any doubt, according to this verse, that hope equals desire. In other words, what you wish is being referred to hope. What you wish is being referred as hope. Hope is equal to desire. Now, what the devil does, he comes and kills the hope side such that you don't even come anxious or expectant. Your expectant conception part is squandered by doubt that you move without hope. And when the desire has been taken away, it means there is no more any tree of life to follow. I hope you're getting me. Let me try and simplify as much as possible. Hope is equal to desire. It is equal to wish. I'm talking about heart wishes. I'm talking about inner thinking. I'm talking about inner meditation, which then brings up an act. And the act is being referred as faith now. So for one to be able to act, one must be singed in hope. If hope dies, as the book of Hebrews is saying, Hebrews is saying, when there is no hope, there is no faith. For now faith is the substance of things hoped for. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. So if your desire part, which the book of Proverbs says, it must make your heart sick. It must make your heart sick. Such that when you receive it, it becomes a tree of life. They say hope makes your heart sick. That's why I want you to take note of this. This desire part is what is destroyed in a very serious way. Let me rub this a bit. This desire part is what is destroyed by the devil by addictions. The devil makes you to concentrate on unnecessary things. Because when hope is high, the act will be also high, meaning you have jumped into faith. So hope or the desire part is interrupted by wrong addictions. One will forget to meditate. One will forget to think straight. One will forget to build their hope. Both hope can be constructed to build their hope. You may actually forget. Why? You are holding your phone the whole day. The correct desires that must change your income, you may forget. That's why addictions are dangerous. That's why addictions are dangerous. Because one is destroyed in the conception part of hope where there must be a desire. Instead of meditating of greatness, the devil will come and attack the desire part, which then reduces a proper act. There will be no proper act. If your hope part is affected by sleep chai, munoona kuti panze pekuti ushwire zvakanaka woshwira hope. Ugotomuka na 10 am nekuti mauri hamuna chishwiro chihombe chekuti ugoacta zviri right. Manorara asvika na 11 anozovhunduka yaasande kuti ndaifanira kunge ndadai. Anozovhunduka wakupera kwemwedzi kuti ndaifanira kunge ndawana mari yerent. Why? The hope part has been destroyed. So many Christians, they move around without a fire inside. Hope is the fire. Hope is the fire. This is what makes a person not to be described by the world. Hope is the fire. This is what makes a person to wake up early. Hope is the energy. Hope makes a person to be innovative. Hope makes a person to be knocking every door, which creates an act. The act now is the faith. If there is no fire inside, if there is no energy inside, yet faith is the substance of things hoped for, it means we have lost the battle before you even began. You can't start to act without wishing. You are lying. I see when I move with my people, if they forget that I'm a man of God, no manifestation will happen. Even if I'm going to any city, it is their anticipation, it is their expectance which brings the results later. Now, the book of Proverbs is saying, hope or a desire makes you sick, and it becomes a tree of life when you receive it, right? I want you to look at yourself and say, what are you sick of? If I look at you right now, what is the greatest fire inside you? What is it that you can say, man of God, I'm very much energized over this area? Is it something meaningful, or your desire has been misplaced? What is a misplaced desire? It is a hope or a wish or an energy which has been directed to unnecessary things, cravings that disturbs proper structures which can change your environment for life. Unogona kutadza kana kudya so munhu akangobata phone so akavhaka satana akubvisa kune basa angokuisa pafoni. Unoona utadza kana kuita zvimwe zvinhu uchifunga kana mukomana akakuti Yesu onyemwerera the whole day wogokanganwa kuronga upenyu hwako. What is your center of your meditation? Faith is a product which is being brewed from hope. What are you expecting inside? What is it that you are growing inside? That then you may say, this is where my hope is centered on. This is where my faith is centered on. What is it? What is it that you are centered on? What is it? What is it that you are centered on? What is it that you may say, this is truly yours? What is it? If hope is dead, you limit your faith. And if there is no faith, it means there is no proper results. You end up becoming just a complaining machine. You end up becoming just a confused person. What is it that is in you? Let me read the book of Romans chapter 8, verse 24. I want you to understand it the way I understood it. 8:24, my best chapter of the whole book, of the whole Bible. Romans chapter 8. For we are saved in this hope. But hope that is seen is not hope. For why does one still hope for what he sees? Very powerful. The Bible is just saying desire of great things that are not in your hands. It is saying wish for the greatness that is to come. Meditate for the things that you are not holding in your hands. If you can see it, there's no need of hoping it because it's already in your hands. So greatness, it is in the revelation. It is in the dream that a person has. It is in the wishes that a person has. And I tell you as I stand right now, you may not notice it, but almost everyone is now a preacher. Some will preach through their status to you. Some will preach through their Facebook to you. Some will preach to you through their Instagram and other social media handles. Almost everyone is a preacher. They speak in your life. And when they speak in your life, there are 100% chances that your hope part, your conception part, the desires in your heart are altered and shifted. And when the desires in your heart are altered and shifted or misdirected, it means you can't really receive that which was provided by grace. Let us not forget. Let's not forget the center of it all. We are saying grace, hope, and then faith. Right? Let's not forget that. So we are saying, if you are not careful, that which is provided by grace, which is yours, 100%, you can be diverted from it through this conception part before you even act. If your hope is affected, even if you say this and that and you are acting, you are lying because your hope has been affected. Meaning that the words that you hear affect your hope. The words that you hear do affect your hope part, which is the conception part. It creates a desire. I've said this several times. Many people who are dying from corona, it's not corona, but it's fear itself. Why? The words inside them are of death more than the words of life. People are losing their stamina. People are losing themselves because the words that have been said to them can't rise any proper act. It's difficult to lay my hands to a person who is sick, who their hope has been derailed. If there is no proper motivation inside them or a proper teaching which says to them, God can heal any disease according to Psalms 103, even if you lay hands and you feel that I'm anointed, I'm healing people through television, if a person comes live and you lay hands on them, but yet their hope is dead, you can't even heal them. It all starts from inner wishes. It all starts from inner desires. That's why I tell you, if I greet a person 1 minute and say, how are you? The moment I talk to them, even if they don't have money that day, you can tell by the right heart desires that this person is going far. Without them having capital, the first important capital is the wishes and the hope that is inside them. Because if hope dies, it means the act has been affected. If hope dies, it means the act has been affected. So, as a parent, what you must install in your children is correct hope. You will not see a wrong act. But if they feel that their life is no more, there is no more any chance, that's why they take drugs. They don't care because their hope is dead. That's why they sit on the corner every day. They don't care because their hope is dead. Some of your children who do unnecessary acts, it is because the hope part is dead. But if you start to install proper hope inside them, you will start to see different act. Why? The book of Hebrews is saying it clearly that faith is a product of hope. It is only a product of hope. Hebrews 11 that I was reading. Now, faith is the confidence that we have, we hope for will actually happen. So I want you to have an understanding that the act of your children, the act of your brothers is being affected by the words that is coming inside them, and their hope part is killed. For example, if I ask you a question and say, what will you do today if I told you are dying tomorrow? If there is no more any hope of the other day, your act will change. If I ask you, what will you do if you are promised 2 billion tomorrow? If the hope is high like that, if your act is changes. I don't know if maybe it was different from you. When we were Form 2, I went to Mondoro when I was Form 2 after writing my ZJC. It was very, very, I tell you, painful 2 months. Because on ZJC, we'd close school end of October and wait for results January, then go to school first week of February. So it was very difficult 2 months in the rural area, time of planting our maize and everything. The work was so difficult. One day, I received the news. Results are out. Please come to Harare. I tell you, I couldn't sleep. The imagination, the thinking, the planning and the plotting, the fear of missing the bus. Everything was compressed in one mind. I just realized that the night was too long for me to go back. The excitement of getting back into my town life did overcome even my mind. The same manner is we move according to the hope that has been installed beneath us. Don't allow a negative preacher to you. Don't allow negative thinking to dwell inside you and become part of your life. No, it's not necessary. Fight it. It's not necessary. Fight it. It's not necessary. Fight it. What is the hope that is inside you? Monitor it. Check it today. You shall see that your act will change. Right now, I want to install a new hope. If you have got any disease, you're going to be healed in Jesus' mighty name. That is our hope. If you are broke, your financial life will change. That is our hope. If you are not married, you're going to be married. That is our hope. That fact that you're going to be married, it must affect the way you bath. It must affect the way you dress. It must affect the way you react. Unless you have killed the hope of marriage, it means you can act anyhow. You can move anyhow. You can do anyhow. But let me bring back the hope, and it must affect your act. You are going to have a beautiful wedding. You are going to have a beautiful house. You are a powerful person. Your name will rise again. Your name shall need good people around you later on. This is the hope that you must move with. Things are going to be all right again. You may look so little today, but you are a shop owner. You are a business owner. You are not just an ordinary person as you may look right now. Things are going to be all right. That hope that I'm installing in you must affect your act from today onwards. Who you associate with, who you talk with, must resemble what you are hoping for. I hope for greatness. I hope for greatness. I hope for serious influence. I hope for a great church. I hope for a great university. I hope for the greatest hospital in Africa. I hope for bringing bullet trains in my country. I hope for big things to happen in my lifetime. That is what I hope for. So my act, my associations, who I talk to is determined over what I hope for. What is the hope that is inside you? What is the hope that is inside you? You've got a problem with your children? What desire? The Bible says it makes you sick. It makes you sick. If everything is still normal, if you are still acting the same, it means there is no proper hope inside you. You are lying. It's just a drop. It's just a drop. If proper hope engulfs you, if proper desire engulfs you, you go straight to a sea full of water. And people will be asking you, where are you taking us, Moses? And you will tell them, only God knows. Because the desire and the hope inside you of success is so much inside you that there is no any obstacle in front of you. The way you surrender quickly, the way you cry quickly, the way you give up quickly, it signifies to us that there is no any drop of hope inside. You are empty. Faith is a product of hope. Because faith is an act. And you act to respond to what you have been wishing. The desire that makes us sick. The desire that makes us sick. It doesn't know any age. It doesn't know any gender. It doesn't know any race. It is a desire that makes us sick. It makes people to say to on your back, she's crazy. She's not normal. At this age, why should she speak of a wedding at this age? Why should she speak of millions at this age? She's a woman. Why should she speak of owning a private jet? Is it possible? And in yourself, you'll be believing it because hope makes you sick. People look at you and say, she may not be normal. The desires that are inside there are above normal. That is hope. It will affect your act. It will affect your search. Whoever you want to talk to, whoever you want to contact, it is affected by the desire that is inside. Where you sleep, what is the hope that is inside? What do you want to change? What impact do you want to cause? You may see that of all places, you are trapped on the hope section. It's dead. And it affects your act. And when your act is affected, there's no more life. Gone. Born to cause an impact. You created, survived, caused zero impact. Then you die without leaving a legacy. That is so wrong. Monitor your hope.